a lot louder. Just to introduce myself for those who aren't here, my name is Sadie. I'm the head of MiChange organization, and I'm just here to introduce our speakers, and we're all relatively late, so without further ado, I'll introduce them. So, and some of them are probably, the speakers are probably known to some of you. So, Carmen and Dylan, welcome. But both with professional expertise and lived experience who work at U-Turn Homeless Ministries. Carmen has a decade of experience in the non-profit sector for the past 6 years dedicated to homelessness services, driven by a passion for walking alongside individuals as they rebuild their lives. Dylan, a proud U-Turn graduate, now serves as a staff member, using his own journey out of business to inspire and support others. Together they embody U-Turn's mission, transforming lives through compassion, empowerment, and the belief that every person can write a new, hopeful chapter. And I'm sure that when they speak, they can even introduce themselves better. So I'm going to hand you over to Carmen. Thank you, Carmen.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. So, as you heard, my name is Carmen Dickinson, and I manage our MiChange Voucher department. So, the MiChange is powered by U-Turn Homeless Ministries and by MES. So, I'm just going to explain what the vouchers does. So, within our program, we have two kinds of vouchers, I should say. So we have a MiChange voucher, and then we also have an earned voucher. So I'll take you through the differences of both these vouchers. So basically a voucher is a ticket for basic needs to the homeless person. So the basic needs at our service center, you can use a voucher for a meal, a warm cooked meal, breakfast, lunch, supper. You can use the voucher for a warm shower. With a shower you get soap, shampoo, towel, a clean face cloth. You can use the voucher for an item of clothing, and also for a safe bed space. We're available. Our safe spaces are quite full, so we're available. So you might say, what is a MiChange voucher? So this voucher is a tool to the public to basically provide a homeless person with an alternative to cash. And in this way, you're giving responsibly as well. So when you're in your car and somebody's at the robot asking for money, when you're walking in the street or somebody knocks at your door, so instead of giving cash, because we all know cash is a trigger. Cash fuels addiction. So instead of giving that cash or that food, tin of baked beans or a bread, we encourage you to give a MiChange voucher. In this pack, there are 4 vouchers. This costs 50 Rand. So you can purchase a voucher at any of what we call resellers. So in partnership with churches, with other shops, spas, Pick n Pays, engine garages, we've got about 190 resellers, and that includes the U-Turn retail stores as well. You can also purchase these vouchers online, the MiChange website. You can collect it at our head office, which is in Kenilworth, or you can donate it back, and we will make sure that it gets given to somebody on the street. So, as I said, the voucher is 50 Rand. There's 4 vouchers in here, and there's also a location of to where the voucher can be redeemed. So, one voucher, let me just take this out. So you can either give somebody a pack of vouchers of 4, or you can give a voucher. So one voucher will get that person a meal. 3 vouchers will get the person a blanket. 1 voucher will get the person a shower. So on our booklet you can see what all the services are. So, So in a nutshell, that is kind of what the MiChange voucher does. If you're interested in becoming a reseller of the voucher, we charge 45 Rand. You then sell the voucher for 50 Rand and you sell it to the public.
Sorry, so just to be clear, you're buying 4 vouchers for 50 Rand, which gives the person receiving it actually 4 times 50 Rand. Is that right? 4 vouchers.
Yeah, so in the pack is 4 vouchers. The whole pack costs 50 Rand.
And each voucher is worth?
About 12 Rand. About 12 Rand a voucher. So 12 Rand 50. Thank you, Dylan. Yes, so, So we have 11 homeless service centres. That includes Newton, Mess, and also Johannesburg. So we have quite a few service centres where they can go to. Muizenberg, we just opened up in Wynberg, Claremont, Town, Strand. Who am I missing? Somerset, and then also Mess is in the northern suburbs, Durbanville, Balmore, and then we also have in Johannesburg. So the client, you give the MiChange voucher, they go to a service centre, they can redeem a service. And that is also getting them to our service centres, because at the service centre we have social work. The social worker will work on trauma while you're on the street, have counselling sessions with them while you're on substances. So it's also a tool to bring them to the service centre. And then we have what we call earned vouchers. So at a Newton service centre, so a client comes, somebody gifted him a MiChange voucher, he's there and he uses the voucher for a meal, and now he realizes that, how am I going to eat tomorrow? Or I've got a blanket with 3 vouchers, what am I going to do tomorrow? So at a service centre, we have programs that start from 8 o'clock and we do certain programs with our clients. And at 1 o'clock, we do voucher earning. So the homeless client will then put on a yellow jacket. Our staff will then go with them to the street, and now they're going to pick up papers or they're going to do some form of activity. And when they come back, they're earning 4 of these vouchers. And that is every day. The client can do earned vouchers. So now, yesterday they only had 1 MiChange voucher, today they actually voucher earned. And now they've got 4 vouchers for the day. They hand them in, 4 o'clock they get a warm plate of food. Tomorrow they can come back for a shower. They can do 2 vouchers to get you a t-shirt, a jacket, and so forth. And that is just a way of bringing the person to the service centre to see what other services we can do to help that person out of homelessness. And then we are in the works of digitalizing the voucher as well. So this is in the making. We're hoping to roll out in the next week or 2. So what we're going to do is a homeless person will have this around their neck. There will be a snap scan code. And if you're at the robot, instead of giving cash, you snap scan 1 voucher, 2 vouchers. This will be 15 Rand a voucher. And the person at the service centre will then come and redeem it. And we'll scan it again. So, so we're busy rolling out. It's exciting stuff. Lots of hard work behind this. So basically, the voucher is just a step toward putting a homeless person in touch with professional support services and a rehab program for a journey to employment. So as I said, at all the service centres we do have social workers, auxiliary workers, counsellors, and it's a whole program that they go on. It's just not today you're here and tomorrow we solve homelessness. So in a nutshell, that is what the vouchers can do. So I'm going to hand over to Dylan. He is one of our staff members in the MiChange department, and Dylan is a product of somebody giving him a voucher. And yes, but I'll let Dylan tell the story because I get very emotional when I hear stories. I can cry, but thanks, Dylan.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Dylan Jordan. I'm originally from Social. I've been in drug addiction for 12 years as well as gangsterism, and I've been homeless for 4 years. So my addiction started when I left school. I was 17 years old. I dropped out of school. I didn't have work, and then I started, roaming around with some guys. It all started off with dacha, marijuana, and one thing led to another. I found myself in town center in Sospelin. I was working as a sliding door operator. I don't know if you guys know, taxi guards, the one that always shouts Cape Town. So yeah, I was working in the taxi industry. That is where I got influence, in using drugs and wanted to fit in, because I was working on a route, and Overpark Mitchellsplein, and there's a lot of rough people on that route. So I also wanted to fit in, I'm working in an Overpark route, so I just wanted to be part of them as well. Yeah, and I started as the time went on. I earned an honest living there every day, but obviously when I get paid, I'm just using every day, And yeah, as the time went on, I got introduced to a new crowd of friends, and they were now using something totally different than Tuk and Mandrax that I was using. And they were using heroin. And one day I also decided, well, I want to try this out as well. One of my biggest mistakes I ever made in my life. As you know, that is a drug that takes you like rock bottom. Like it takes you down to the gutter. And I started using with those guys, and I never knew what the outcome of that drug was, And I remember the first time using, it makes you nauseous, and you will vomit, and you will have the symptoms. And the next day when I woke up, my whole body was paining. I had pains in every joint of my body. It's like people is stabbing you with knives everywhere in your body. That is like the closest to what I can explain to what they call the turkey withdrawal pain. And yeah, I was in pain in that time, and I just wanted a way out, and I wasn't using that drug for too long. It was about 2 years, and I will never forget one morning it was raining. As I use that drug, people tend to lose trust in you, because a lot of people that are using that drug are desperate to get a fix because of the pain. They will do anything to get that drug. Even if it means stealing your clothing wet clothing off from the lines, robbing, stealing, shoplifting. They will go through anything to do that. But okay, thank God I never did things like that. So I wasn't trusted anymore, and I couldn't work in the taxis anymore, and I couldn't blame them as well. And I was also sleeping outside the town center where I was homeless, so I wasn't clean. So it wouldn't be nice for me to work on a taxi with people, and I started washing taxis. In town center, we charged like 50 rand a van. Used to wash taxis, and one day it was storming, and I can't wash a taxi when it's raining, and I didn't have anything to smoke. I was in pain. I didn't have any money. I had nothing, and one of my friends came over to me, and he gave me one of those vouchers. And he told me, "Bro, gaan na U-turn, go there to town center, opposite KFC, there's U-turn, you can go give this voucher in for a meal, you can get something to eat." And without hesitating, I just trusted him and I went. And as I got to the service center, I got a warm welcome. I remember when I walked in, everybody was like happy to see me, because usually if you're homeless, you're a heroin addict, you're a drug addict, like people just look at you weird, like, when you coming on, they're moving out of the way. And these people was like welcoming me, like a sincere welcome. And the first thing they said, "What is your name and surname?" Like I felt important, I felt like a person again, I'm being part of something. And they had a warm bucket with water and soap in, and they said, "You know what, you can wash your hands and have a seat." So they used to have change readiness sessions. Carmen was the manager at that time at Mitchell's Plain Service Center, so we come a long way. And yeah, I washed my hands, and the person that, one of the social workers, Abigail, auxiliary workers was there, and she just looked at me from head to toe, and I was soaking wet when I got in there that day. I had on slippers with socks that was soaking wet, like everything was wet that I had on. I think I had a long sleeve t-shirt on as well. And then we had this change readiness session, and they were speaking about change. And as we were having the session, they brought me a big cup of coffee. It was like a big mug that they used to have. Warm coffee with milk in, how that was an amazing feeling, sleeping on the street, having nothing, And after the session, something triggered that day. Something definitely triggered me that day, wanting to change, and they were talking about the U-turn program and how you can get off from the streets, and something just triggered with me that day. After the session, we had a bowl of porridge, a nice bowl of porridge, and I was quite full. And as I was about to leave, they were telling me that I can come back 1 o'clock to do voucher earning. And then I told the social worker, but I do have a voucher that I got from somebody. What can I use it for? And she was looking at me, she's like, you need shoes because you are soaking wet. These 2 vouchers for the shoes, but we're going to get some, because they also have donated vouchers at the service centers that they use for emergency, and they gave me clean underwear, socks, a pair of tackies, a tracksuit pants, and a rain jacket. And I left there dry, stomach was full, and they told me, okay, 1 o'clock you can come do your voucher earning. And 1 o'clock I was there, because it was raining, I can't wash extra taxis, what must I do? God just put it out like that it should happen in that way. And 1 o'clock I was there. I was even before 1 o'clock I was there already, because I knew, okay, it's gonna get me something, And they gave me a bib and a pair of gloves to put on, and 2 black bags, and they said, okay, you need to fill those 2 black bags. We're not giving you anything for free. Fill those 2 black bags with rubbish in town center. We're going to give you 4 vouchers. I was like, 4 vouchers? No, I'm definitely doing this. And I felt like professional, like a working man with my bib on and my gloves on, walking in town center. Like, because everybody look at me weird now, everybody's looking like, this guy got the job. I felt like I'm working for the council, just walking. But it felt good, like really, it felt good. Picking up papers, and as we were picking up papers, we were talking and having fun, It was a nice feeling for me. Eventually when we got back, I think it's about 2 hours, yeah. We got back about like 3 o'clock, took our bibs off, our gloves, and just before we get to the service center, they have this big bin that you throw your rubbish in, and all the taxi drivers, it's on the taxi, they were looking like, blacks, you work for the council now? I'm like, yeah. But yeah, it was a nice feeling, and we made our way up to the service center, and we got these vouchers. But the vouchers, I think it was a bit bigger than this at that time. They gave me 4 vouchers, and I'm like, I'm rich, So they were serving supper, and they said, okay, you can have a plate of food with one of those vouchers. And I think it was macaroni and cheese they were making that day. I know the meals was very nice there at Mrs. Plate. So yeah, I had a nice plate of food, and they said, if you are still hungry, if you want another meal for supper, you can pay another voucher, and we give you a takeaway. They used to call it a takeaway, so they also had this takeaway buckets that you could put it in. I left, and I came back every day, because I was washing taxis, and I was my own boss, with my 2 buckets, walking around, looking for a way to wash. It's a business, you laugh, but it's a business. And I used to return like every day, like 1 o'clock, to do my voucher earnings, get my meal. After that, I will just go wash like 2-3 taxis, and I've got my money again. And as the time went on, I did that for about a month or 2. As I went to the service center, they do have like social workers, and they will do like a background assessment. If they see you coming consistently for a week, they will do a background assessment with you. They will tell you, look, can you be here tomorrow at 1 o'clock? And they just do a background check, where you are originally from, do you have family, and trying to take the steps to onboard you. And yeah, and I continued just to work, just to go every day. But, and I remember in the morning, in the work readiness, in the change readiness programs, they specifically told us that if you want to continue this journey of change, you mustn't put your focus on money. You know how the devil is, he's always going to come with this. And then there's one guy approached me after washing his car one day, and he asked me, don't you want to work for me? I've got my own fruit and vegetable stand, and I'm going to pay you 120 rand a day. And obviously I must have heard about money, and yeah, I accepted the job, and that now meant that I needed to be at one place the whole day because I had to look after the stand. I even slept in the stand, like at night when we used to pack up. I used to make my bed like inside of the stand, and that is where I now stayed away from U-turn. I was there every day, and the people were looking for me. I can remember they were P2s that was also at the service center. And they were also asking, like, the people are looking for you by U-turn. They want to know where you are because you became a regular there. And then I ended up using so much, like every day 120 rand, that I ended up in hospital, in the new hospital in Mitchellspruit. I had my third ulcer. So the second time around I had bleeding ulcer. They cut me open. I had 40 staples. Yeah, right down. And this was now the third time that I had a bleeding ulcer, and the same doctor that did my operations before, I was under her kind, and she was like telling, you know what, this is like the last miracle that I think you're ever going to get. She even went so far as to, when they do the scope, you know the scope where they see inside, you're not supposed to see the skin because they keep your face, but she specifically showed me, I want you to see what is happening inside of your body. And if you are going to be continuing to use like more than 7 days, you're going to die, and there's nothing we can do to stop the bleeding. And you know, how should we know we're always stubborn as we.
Sorry, you said using heroin again.
Heroin, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, you know how stubborn the addicts are. I got discharged out of hospital. I started to use again. You know, and it was already 6 days using. And this morning I got the same friend who gave me the voucher. And he told me, Dylan, you know what? U-turn is having a Christmas lunch this afternoon, 1 o'clock. And they also asked me if I can find you. They would love you for you to come to the Christmas lunch. And luckily that day, that guy didn't pitch. He wasn't there. He set up a stand somewhere else. And he obviously didn't know where I was because I was in hospital. I went to the Christmas lunch, you know. It was a nice setup, Christmas carols were playing, Christmas trimmings were hanging, they bought nice food for us, there were nice treats to eat. You know, and as the gospel music was playing, just after we had our treats, something just triggered again. I came here for a reason, I wanted to change my life. You know, look what heroin is doing to me, you know. And as we had this lovely meal in the streets, they said, hey, we need to leave now. They open it now. This was in December, yes. They open it only next year, the 8th of January. And I was like, I'm in trouble now, you know, because I was on my last medication. I still had it on me. I also had my discharge letter on me. And they were like, Dylan, but you need to leave. Everybody's gone. We're going to clean up now. Don't worry, we're going to put you in P2 next year. We're going to get you a shelter. Because they were also struggling to get a shelter for me because of my heroin usage. I don't know if you heard earlier on in the presentation, they were talking about the problem with the heroin addicts getting them into shelters. And I didn't want to leave, and I said, okay, I need to speak to somebody. And then the auxiliary worker took me into one of the rooms. They have like a private room where you can speak your confidential stuff with them. And I spoke to Abigail and I told her my situation. I got discharged. And she said, okay, don't worry, I'm going to get the pastor. So they got the pastor to come. And the pastor was like, Dylan, you know, we're only opening next year. How can we assist you? Because do you have any way how we can assist you in it? You know what the words that came out of my mouth was, Pastor, I need God in my life. I don't know where those words came from. But that was the exact words that came out of my mouth. And he asked me, Dylan, how do you think we can help you? I said, Pastor, I heard about the ark. I think you can take me to the ark, please, if you won't mind. And he made a few phone calls, and he got through to one of the leaders from the ark, and they said, okay, Pastor, bring him tomorrow morning. Just bring him, he can come. And as I left there, I was already gone. They called him back to say they can bring me now immediately, but I was gone already. Then I went to go sleep at friends of mine. I wasn't sleeping in the town center that night because it was also raining that night. And I got one of their sisters to wake me up like very early just to get me back to town center in the morning. And she was telling me like, you need to be 8 o'clock, it's 7:30, you need to go. It was 6:30 the time she told me to go. She gave me taxi fare as well. As I got to the service center, they gave me clean clothing. They gave me tackies, clothing to wear as I go to the ark, underwear, whatever. And there I went to the ark. When I got to the ark, all they told me, this is not a real. You must accept Jesus, you come, this is a church, and I was ready to do that. 1 month at the ark, my family only found out where I was. I could make a phone call, and my grandmother came to visit me. She supported me, brought me groceries, everything that I needed. I got baptized at the ark. I accepted Jesus in my life. I became a praise and worship leader at the ark after doing my program. I also became a sub-supervisor in security. And as I was at the ark, U-turn was still coming to visit me. Monthly visits, trying to get me into the shelters or onto the P2. But unfortunately, Mitchell's Split Service Center closed down. And that is where they introduced me to Edna. She's working at the main ark. So she's doing the referrals to the work readiness program, which means that I didn't go to P2, I went now straight to P3. And the 24th of October 2023, I got onto the work readiness program at U-turn. I moved into Loaves and Fishes shelter. Where I stayed for 10 months. The first store I worked at was at Durbanville. And after a month, I became a cashier. I was a very fast learner. I was also a reliever, and they needed somebody in Woodstock. And then I moved to the Woodstock charity store, which was closer to where I was staying in Observatory. And as my journey went on, there came an opportunity at Connect Solutions. So I don't know if you guys saw the table upstairs of Connect Solutions, social enterprise. And there was a coding learnership. And throughout the years, I was always interested in computers. And then I went to the workshop and I put on my name for this coding learnership. And in 2 weeks' time, I got a call to say that I was one of the selected candidates. Out of the 6, I was one of the lucky 3 that was chosen. I finished my learnership at the end of July, now this year, coding learnership. And the 1st of August, I became a staff member at U-turn. I am now the administrator at MiChange. I'm also doing the deliveries as well. And I also passed out my license about 3 weeks, a month ago. So, not any license, a code 10 license, so I can drive a truck. And it doesn't end there. So, at the moment, I've got my own apartment. I've got a bachelor's degree here. So, I'm living at Conradi Park. It's also part of social housing. And I also got a flat through U-turn. U-turn has a very good relationship with Conradi Park. So, it's like you move from shelter to traditional house, into social housing, into independent living. And that is where I am staying at the moment, cooking for myself, cleaning myself. It feels good, just to think back, like many times when it's raining, I will lay and I will think, just think back with so much gratitude to where I'm coming from, And it doesn't end there. I got a bursary from the church, CCK. So I'm currently doing a full stack web development course. And can say that it is going extremely well. So far, I've built pages like Tesla, YouTube. I also did a portfolio, and so far I'm getting 90 out of 100, which I am able to do better. But thank you very much. That is how.
Thank you, Dylan. You know what, guys? I can listen to Dylan's story and so much about other guys' stories, and you can't help but tear up. And you think something as small as this. Oh, I'm gonna cry. Can change your life. To you and me, this means nothing. But to somebody like Dylan, oh my gosh, Dylan, really? But to somebody like Dylan, this means the world. If somebody did not give him this voucher, he wouldn't have been sitting here today. He would have been underground. So don't think, if you're going to give somebody a voucher today, and they say, I'll see. Sometimes somebody goes a month later, a year later, next same day. This makes a difference. And again, we encourage you, please purchase these MiChange vouchers so that it can draw all the unhoused people to the Uton service centres, to the MES service centres, so that lives can be changed and reformed and reunified back into society. So again, if you are interested in purchasing, we do have vouchers upstairs. We've got a yoga machine as well. If you are interested in becoming a reseller, please reach out to us. Or if you know businesses that you think would be interested, please reach out. Again, thank you so much, Dylan, for that. If you all have questions, I think we've run out of time. Okay, we do have 5 minutes. Okay, we do have 5 minutes. Yes, Leslie.
So, firstly, I want to say to you, Dylan, so can you? Oh, Dylan, so thank you for your testimony. So, you know what? Firstly, I want to say that, there's a scripture in the Bible that says, many are called, but few are chosen. You certainly chosen, and the devil wanted to steal your destiny. I mean, that's so clear. Your testimony was so powerful. I'm not gonna. If this is too personal, you don't need to answer. So my question is, what led you to the homelessness and the drugs? Do you come from a broken childhood or, broken family? Because most of the time, it starts there. So yeah, that's my question. Thank you.
I speak with pride, So I do come from a broken family. So my mother and my father was also in drug abuse. But through God's grace, my father's been for about 9 years now. And after me changing my life, my mother decided to change her life as well. And she is 3.2 years now.
Oh, thank you.
Can you tell me where's the service centre here in the city?
Yes.
Op exchange.
And can you speak there what facilities is there?
So the service centre in town, we call Home Exchange, they're in Roland Street. We are working on safe space there. They've got an independent transitional house. Yes. So the service currently is just the service centre. You can get your meals, clothing, and shower. I'm not sure about when we will have a safe space up and running. Fund independent. And if you have a question?
You are running out of digital vouchers. My question is more work-related. How will that work for people coming to the service center? How will we scan these things?
So we are busy rolling out, right? So we're testing at our Claremont service center. So every service center will be equipped with all the on the program. When you see a retail store and you see the green t-shirt, you know they are champs and they earn a stipend. So they're on our third phase of the program. So we make sales at our store so that we can pay the champs' salary.
The reason I say that is because, again, I live in some suburbs.
Okay.
Say if anyone is too far away to go for a meal, there's actually people are refusing to take vouchers.
Yeah.
I know you opened up the line where
Yeah.
but that's also very numbers.
Yeah.
Was it a service centre line or was it also a safe
The
space?
service centre. So, yeah, the safe space we have is in Claremont and then Mess in the northern suburbs. They've got safe spaces.
And then the other thing is, what do you do for people over 50 and you don't service or serve people over 50?
Okay, no. Okay, so we don't turn anyone away at our service centres. If they have a voucher, they can fill the voucher early. They just won't be part of the program. Because it's a working program, so it's a long program. You can be on a program 2 years up to 5 years, even if it's a long journey. But we don't turn anyone away. If you're over 50 and you have a voucher, we will never turn you away. You can come voucher early. You can shop with your vouchers. You just won't be on the program.
They can't sleep, they sleep and
Yes?
Yes.
They even have access to the social worker.
Yeah, we have access to the social worker as well. But as you just want to put on the program. Yeah. Anyone else?
Can you use the voucher to sleep at night?
No. The Hague has their own, the Hague has a passport. But we are, hopefully, as time goes by, the more deemed allocations we have. Because at the moment, it's only Newton and only Mess. And next year, we definitely will be looking at partnering with other organizations where these vouchers can be redeemed. Because there are places like Tableview. It seems there's somebody selling vouchers in Tableview because there's no facility. You know what I mean? So, yeah, so if you have an organization that does what we do, please feel free to make contact with me.
how about partnering with Pick and Pay or something? They use the voucher for Pick and Pay.
Pick and Pay, they sell the MiChange vouchers.
Use the thing.
No.
No.
No, unfortunately not. Look, the voucher is a tool to get them to our service centre, to start changing their life. It's not a shopping spree or, you know what I'm saying? So if you want to shop, you shop at the service centre. And then it's also you meeting into contact with the social worker and working all through all your trauma to actually get you off the street and to get you off substances. You also question? Oh.
I just want to answer. So, ma'am, I just want to say something. So, we don't want to sell, we don't want to give a homeless person a voucher that is renewable at the store. Because that is also enabling them. You understand? Because now, they're going to take that voucher, go to the store, go to a Pick and Pay, go to a Hilton store, buy an item of clothing or whatever, and then they're going to go sell it.
Yeah.
You understand now what I'm trying to say?
I'll be looking down there. Give me 1 second.
I think one is just to reiterate, I think on a national level, when we're running that out on a national level with different other organizations or something.
We are working on it. We are definitely looking at that. We do have service centres in Johannesburg, but the voucher is not as popular as what it is here in Cape Town. But we are looking at expanding everywhere, hopefully overseas, everywhere else.
Any more questions?
Your words is fine and my son. Because
So, I mean, if you go to our store, you're going to get way cheaper things. You all know how expensive Melbourne is. So we have retail stores, we have Living Roots, which is a plant nursery. We have Buildback, which the guys do carpentry. We have Connect Solutions, which is our... So if you're a non-profit and you need your website done, you need your... all the stuff that you need, I don't know. But if you need your website done and tech related, we do have that facility that we give non-profits a discount. And what am I missing? So short, you guys.
Coffee shops.
Oh, we have coffee shops. So we actually do Buddhist training and we do coffee shops as well. So please go and support Newton. We need the money. Oh yes, and then also donations. If you have old clothing, please donate it. We have a laundry where we sort out clothing for the service centres, and we also clothing for the retail stores.
And any store.